New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio was helping a group paint Black Lives Matter on the street right outside Trump Tower today. We understand he has now done his photo op, did some painting with the Reverend Al Sharpton, and left the scene. All of this despite President Trump himself criticizing this idea last week. The president tweeted this: NYC is cutting police funding by $1 billion, and yet the mayor is going to paint a big, expensive yellow Black Lives Matter sign on Fifth Avenue, denigrating this luxury avenue. This will further antagonize New York's finest, who love New York and vividly remember the horrible BLM chant, "Pigs in a blanket, fry 'em like bacon." The mayor called those comments the definition of racism. Lawrence, I come to you as this visual is being shored up now. It looks like they're putting the finishing touches on it.
Yeah, I've made my thoughts very clear on the reforms that need to take place in policing. That being said, I think black people have been saying this for a while. We've been talking about the certain trend, and I think we're having a fantastic conversation about equality and improving the relationship. But somewhere down the line, people started to hear, even though no one said it, "Show me your virtue." And that is a thing that has begun to disgust me, because it seems like the conversation is shifting from progress and things, legislation, conversations, is shifting from that moment to a lot of pictures and changing names of stuff, and that is not productive. No one cares.
Yeah, I think the buzz term of the day is virtue signaling. That's what I'm hearing. Jessica?
Yeah, Mayor de Blasio is incredibly unpopular, and this isn't going to help anything, because people think in the middle of a health pandemic, and when you have 400% of your officers, calling in sick or voicing concerns, potentially retiring, that maybe you should be focusing on doing your job. This has happened in a number of cities. I don't necessarily feel like it's a problem to do these kinds of murals, but the mayor's got to have better things to do than photo ops, and I wish he'd do his job.
You know, we have up on the screen right now that our viewers can see the president labels it a symbol of hate. Lisa, what do you say about that?
Well, I mean, I think it should be concerning to everyone that the country is mainstreaming a Marxist organization who has gone into a lot of these cities and burnt down buildings, who has caused violence, who says things like "pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon," who wants to dismantle the nuclear family in the country. And I think you can differentiate between supporting Black lives and believing that Black lives matter in this country, because of course they do, while also denouncing an organization who has roots in things like Marxism. And it's scary to me that you have American companies donating to this organization and people painting it on streets.
Jillian, you get the last word on this.
Well, Harris, I've spent a lot of time the past month at Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, D.C. It's out right near the White House. What I can tell you about this is that once these words are on the street, people will congregate there, and it will become the new center of protest inside the very beating heart of New York City.
And you know you're going to need the police in order to be there for all of those gatherings. I mean, that's typically how it works, so everybody feels like they're protected and served. Very interesting collision there, potentially. All right. Thank you to everybody here. We're so glad to be with all of you, and glad you watched.